Here's what happens as a personal trainer when you spend your time and money in the wrong places to advertise your PT business. And let me tell you, I made all the mistakes. So when I first set up my personal training business, my main aim was to get my name out to as many people as possible. So what I did is I paid someone to design a flyer for me. I paid for the flyers to be printed, and I paid for a lot of flyers to be printed. And then I took a shed load of time walking to every single house I possibly could to put one of my flyers through the door. And do you know how many people I got from all that time, all that effort, all that money? I got one client. And that client didn't even actually stay for that long. So it nowhere near paid for itself. Now, there's a couple of issues that I had, which looking back, I think, why the hell did you do that, Rob? But the main one is I was putting flyers through as many doors as possible. But I knew that I was selling a premium product because of what I charged per hour. Now, if I'm going to be charging 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds an hour for my personal training, if I'm really honest, there's only a certain amount of people who can afford to pay that in my area. And the houses that I would put my flyers through, those guys didn't live there. It sounds really harsh, but you've got to work out who you're actually advertising to. Who is your market? Because I was just blanketing the delivery to anyone. When actually thinking about it, there's not many people, yes there are some, but there are not many people, for example, in terraced houses that are going to pay £100 an hour for your personal training, week in, week out, or multiple times in a week. Generally, those people hang out behind gated communities, and you can't necessarily get to them. So the most important thing with your advertising is where you are you advertising to the right sort of people? And if you're not, how do you get in front of the right sort of people? Now, there's different ways we can advertise. Yes, we can advertise through flyers and in the post, but that's sort of gone now, because I'm certainly not going to pick up a flyer through a door and think, yeah, I'm going to invest thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds over the next couple of years in this flyer who I don't know anyone about, don't know anything about him, but it's just come through a door, so it looks a good idea. It's just not going to happen. So the most important thing I said is getting yourself in the right places. Now, I've done a previous video before about how my business took off because I started working in a very, very luxurious, top-of-the-range health club where people did have the money to spend on personal training and they didn't have to think about it. Some guys were coming in Lamborghinis, Ferraris, helicopters. To be fair, those are the guys that don't even ask how much you're charging. They want you. So my first tip for anybody to advertise themselves is to put them in the right situation, put them in the right place. Try and go to the boutique gyms, go to the top range gyms, at spas, at health clubs. See if you can do a couple of hours on the floor there, because automatically you'll be advertising yourself to the right people who can afford your services. Now remember, we are always trying to get the high-end clients, because they're going to be the guys who want to train with you 2, 3, 4 times a week, pay £100 plus an hour for your personal training for your time, but also it will be recurring revenue because it won't really make a dent in their bank balance. They'll keep having you week on week, month on month, year on year, and that's going to be worth thousands and thousands of pounds to you as a personal trainer. And that's the way you're going to get your business northwards of 6 figures. So making sure you advertise yourself in the correct places. Now, you might already have a job and you might be doing personal training on the side, or you might already be starting to get quite busy as a personal trainer. So you think, well, Rob, I haven't got time to go into those health clubs and do a few hours on the gym floor so I can have access to those people. Now, if that's the case, why not, for a couple of months, join that health club or join that high-end gym? Yes, it might cost you 80, 90, £100 a month. But first of all, it'll be tax deductible, so it'll cost you less because you can put it all against your tax. But more importantly, again, it's a different way of getting in front of the right potential clients. Those guys who don't actually care what you charge. Now we know if you go into a gym, people talk to each other. So as long as you're happy saying a couple of things to people as you go into these places, chances are you're going to strike up a relationship, strike up a rapport, and then get clients off the back of that. Now, I don't mean going into these places and trying to do a hard sell straight away, because chances are you'll get kicked out straight away. But the amount of clients I've picked up just by going to these health clubs, even just at weekends when I've gone with my wife just to chill out, and I've got chatting to someone in the sauna or just over the weights bench, and they've just said, oh, that's an awesome exercise. I sometimes do this. Oh, cool, yeah, that's really good. How do you know about that? Well, I'm a personal trainer. And automatically that starts to generate a conversation. And then I might see that person again next time I go and train. They know I'm a personal trainer. They might come and ask me for a few more tips. And a month later, bang, they're going to be a client of mine. It's that simple, and you need to start thinking outside the box. Too many people think about flyers or social media, and that's a really wide spread of people. What you need to be doing is you need to be really, really drilling down, focusing down on exactly the client you want, finding out where they hang out, but most importantly, get there. Get to that position where they are. Get in front of them however you can. Now, this is the thing that transforms my personal training business, because I made all the mistakes at the beginning. And I know it can transform your personal training business too. But until then, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.